Hello and welcome to the very first video on this brand new channel, Mindslide Games, which is dedicated to all things game dev and is going to be mostly tutorials, okay, like this one. With that being said, it's a brand new channel. If you like what you see, like you can see the traffic lights working right now, okay? If you like what you see and you like this video, you know, uh, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button, okay? Subscribe to the channel, especially, all right? And hit the notification bell so you get notified when I put up new videos. And since this is a new channel, they're going to be coming out quick, man, because, I want to get this thing up and going. So you want to get notified when I put these videos up. And also, do me a favor and leave a comment down below about what you thought of this video, okay? Because your input is very important to me. It helps me a lot, and I would appreciate it. Okay, and especially this subscription because I'm an indie game dev. I'm poor, all right, and you know what I'm saying. So if I don't make $1 million making a game, at least I can get a little spare change from YouTube monetization. So yeah, we definitely want to get the subscriber count up, get the community building. All right, so please subscribe. With that said, this tutorial, obviously, why you clicked, is about traffic light system, which you're watching right now in play mode. Okay, and it's very performant. All right, I love the system I made, and I'm gonna throw it everywhere in this level because it's so performant. And by performant, I mean I'm using, this is a URP project, so I'm using emission on the little lights themselves, which are attached to the pole. All right, but the lights don't generate lighting. All I'm doing is using the bloom effect, the glow of the emission, which is the performant part of that. The lights, the traffic lights, each have one script on them. The script is only like 57 lines long, and they each use the very same script. Okay. In that script, there is no update function running every frame. All right. So if you put these all over your level, you're not going to have 1,000 updates running because of them at the same time. Okay. There's no update function. Now, the don't mind how crappy the traffic looks. They turn automatically to go to the next waypoint. They're on a little waypoint system. Originally, they were going to be nav mesh agents, but unfortunately, nav mesh agents have a real problem colliding with triggers and stuff. And honestly, I don't know how to get around that. I don't know if anybody does. I don't know if they can. That's a tough thing. Nav mesh agents have a real problem with collision. Unity, in my opinion, should fix that as soon as possible because that's something that a lot of people use, that nav mesh. So, but anyway, like I said, the nav mesh wasn't working, so I changed them and wrote my own code for them to just follow a simple waypoint and drive around the blocks. That ambulance you see now is driving around one block, and the little truck over there, he's driving around 2 blocks. Okay, I mean, it was real simple script on them too, just to showcase the traffic light system here. All right. So, with that being said, why don't we get right into it, get this going, and show you how it's done, because that's why you're here, right? So let's come out of play mode. All right. Now, these traffic lights, these four, at a four-way intersection, I put inside of an empty game object so that if I want to say put traffic lights here, all I have to do is grab this, and I've got all four, and I can just drag it over instead of dealing with each one individually. But individually, you've got the traffic light, and this is its bounding box. Okay, so the box collider, it's set to a trigger, right? And I just moved it over by editing the box like that. Edit collider. All right, and the traffic light I made in Blender real quick, so you could see that there's nothing much to it. If we go into wireframe, there's like nothing to it. Okay, real simple. And then the light, same thing, you know, wireframe mode. It's only got like 12 faces. So I made those to be very performant as well. Now the traffic, it stops for the traffic lights because the lights tell it to. The trucks have no code telling them to stop or go. It's all in the light. And like I said, that's a very short code and real powerful, in my opinion. So, like this one here, there's its box, because this one and this one, the opposite corners, they handle this way. So, like this one, its box is over there for traffic coming this way, and the same with these. This one stops this way, this one stops this way. All right. So, why don't we get into that code and I'll show you how this is happening. All right. And like I said, about 57 lines of code. We got our using statements up here. Public class traffic light, name of the script. First, I started by creating a private game object I called temp and equaled it to null. Okay, that way we don't get any null reference exceptions off temp. And we'll get into why we have this when I get to it, which won't be long. Then we create three public game objects, red, green, and yellow lights, and then a public bool is red, which I, in hindsight, should have named something different, like starts on red or something, because that's more descriptive. This is confusing. And then we have a private bool, stop traffic. Okay. The public bool is so for ease of setting in the inspector when you're setting this up. Then we have our void start, okay, which starts when the engine starts. And we have the red, green, and yellow lights here. And we get the component of renderer on each because we're using the material. And then we disable the emission on all three because I want them all off to start. All right, and like I said, red light dot get component, renderer dot material dot disable keyword, and then emission. That's how you disable or enable emission in code. So they're all set to false or disabled, and then we go to an if statement. If is red, which means if the light is going to start on red by means of, the bool, then turn the light red. And that's a function right here, okay, which turns the light red. Else, turn it green, which is this function here, okay. So we go to turn red. So let's say you set that bool to be true, and you want that light to be red at first. It's going to set the red light, renderer material, enable emission. It's going to turn it on. Then the yellow light we're going to turn off because yellow is before red, so it would have been on when these are looping. And I say loop because, like I said, there's no update. What they're doing is they're invoking each other after a certain amount of seconds. Okay. So we turn the red light on, turn the yellow light off, just in case it was on, which, at first it won't be because we disabled it here, but throughout the invoking, it will be. So we turn the yellow light off, and then we invoke turn green, because green comes after red. And we do this after 10 seconds. All right? That's the length of the red light, 10 seconds. Then we set our stop traffic bool, our private bool, to true, because we want traffic to stop. It's a red light. So then after 10 seconds, we go to turn green. Green comes after red. Green light turns on, red light turns off. Then we invoke turn yellow because yellow comes after green. And stop traffic equals false. You can now go. Okay. Now you notice 10 seconds for the red light, but only 8 for the green light. Why is he doing that, you say? Well, you might not have said that, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Because if it was just red and green we were toggling between, they'd both be 10. But, IRL in the real world we live in, there's a yellow light. So the yellow light I have on for 2 seconds, which means this was 10, but I had to subtract these 2 seconds from it so that red and green will always switch at the same time. Okay. So like you saw, we'll hit play again real quick. They swap at the exact same time because of this. So you can see them both there now, and just keep an eye on them. Green's going to go to yellow over there to the left before it goes to red. And now that boom, they do it at the exact same time. Okay. So that's why you've got 10, but only 8 here and then 2 here. And then we've got our private void on trigger enter collider other. Okay. This is what screwed me up with the agents. And that's why he was called agent, because originally they were going to be. But inside this function on trigger enter, we've got an if statement that checks if other, which is the vehicle, dot compare tag, agent, which is what I gave him, and stop traffic equals true, it's a red light, then this code will happen. So temp, the game object we created up here that we set to null, we're going to use temp to mimic the vehicle that just entered our trigger. Okay. And mimic, that's the best word I can think of this. It's copying it, not really copying it, but mimicking it really and changing its values. Okay. So temp, we're going to set equal to other, which is the vehicle, dot game object. And then other, the real vehicle, not the mimic, we get the component, the script vehicle, dot speed, which is the float variable, which I use to move them, okay, which is normally 10. We set it to 0, so they stop. Then we start a coroutine to wait for green, which is right here. I enumerate a wait for green. Starts a while loop, okay. Stop traffic, while stop traffic equals true, while it's a red light. It doesn't do anything, it just waits. As soon as it turns green, this while loop ends, and you get this line of code. Temp, the mimic, get component, which is really getting it on the vehicle, but we're mimicking that. Temp.get component vehicle dot speed equals 10. We tell the vehicle they can go, and they start moving again. And then the mimic temp we set back to null. So this way we don't get any like null reference exceptions with temp. Set it null there, and when we're done. And that way when another vehicle passes through, temp will mimic that vehicle and tell it what to do. Okay. So that's that. Very simple, and it works great. And honestly, the pedestrians, if you did them the same way, took them out of nav mesh and coded them yourself, like I did with the vehicles, all right, you could have a walk, don't walk sign, say on the side of them over here, okay, and use the same code, and just add in, you want to change if the light's red, you want to change it to like don't walk, or if it's green, change it to walk, or you know what I mean? And you could just change the image or the emission over there. Okay. And you could do that by having like a crosswalk here. Okay. And, right here, you could have a crosswalk and, you could have your collider here for pedestrians for this light. And if it says don't walk and the peds come up like a vehicle, they'll stop. and then just move on, just like the vehicles are. So you could do that with the PEDs as well. And that is how that's done. And that's basically it. I mean, very simple, right? But very effective, very powerful, in my opinion. And I plan on putting these everywhere in here. Um, because I'm actually making this into a small project, which for me, I always start with small projects and then bam, they just get huge and out of my control. But this small project I started, I was calling Beat Town, about a corrupt cop. And because it sounds like beat down, and that's what cops like. It was beaten down. So, so that's it. I mean, you know, works great. So thank you for watching, and especially watching till the end. Like I said, please subscribe, help this channel grow. It's a brand new channel, so it's got like, you know, 1 or 2 subscribers maybe right now. Help it grow and help me support the channel making more videos. Okay, you don't need to donate any money. There's no Patreon or anything. Just click subscribe and the like button. Leave comments about what you saw. That is my support, and I need it and I appreciate it from you. So again, if you liked it, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, because it's a brand new channel. I'm going to be putting these out quite a bit. I want to get some content on here and get a subscriber base going. So they're going to be coming out. So uh, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it and liked it. And I will see you in the next one. So for now, this is Leo, aka Bad Apple Online, signing out. All right. Peace until the next one.